one of the projects that I have wanted to do ever since I bought this house was the windows and the door. The door has been an issue ever since I moved in. It's never locked. The seal is not the greatest, and the sliding screen door was problematic at best. Until this summer when the bottom tray on the door just kind of fell off. The screen door was no longer really attached, and I realized that it was a desperate situation. I was going to have to get that replaced this year. And while I was at it, have my windows replaced at the same time. Some of them are really struggling. A few of them I can't open more than a few inches without having to really put everything I've got into closing it again. So once the patio door started kind of really coming apart, I decided I was going to start putting in for some quotes from some of the local companies. I was looking at Anderson because they're made in Cincinnati, as well as Champion because they are also made locally in Cincinnati. Both of them have a pretty good reputation for being quality and decent after installation support. Unfortunately, with both of the companies, they have their buy it now sales pitch, where if you don't buy it today, then you will pay even more. The quotes ended up being significantly higher than I was expecting. I didn't think that after the discounts, it was still going to cost $25,000 for 6 double windows and 1 patio door, plus 1 small window in the kitchen. $25,000 after their discount. I'm still fighting with Anderson a little bit, and they didn't apply some of the promotions because they never do apply those promotions together, even though the way they were worded, they go together. So that's a whole nother story, but I'd already committed to Anderson by the time that Champion finally came out and gave me a quote. If I were to do it again, I would have gone with Champion 100%. That salesman was so much more helpful, so much more informative. He was willing to work with me on stuff, answer questions, explain stuff, give me breakdowns. Their process seemed to be a lot better than Anderson had gave the impression that it was. Now, like I said, both of them did the if you buy it today pressure. If I hadn't gone with Anderson that day, I think the price would have been $35. And if I had just taken that quote and said, I'll do it sometime this year, it would have been upwards of $40. For 6 double windows, 1 small window, and a patio door. Now that is excess. I'm not entirely sure what Champion's actual cost would have been. I know after the if you buy it today promotion, it was going to be just under $16,000 for the exact same stuff. Now the big difference between Champion and Anderson is Champion's vinyl is 100% vinyl, not mixed, not diluted in any way. It's 100% pure vinyl, and it's thicker than your standard vinyl. They also have triple paned gas sealed windows. Comparing that with Anderson's special composite, what they call it, FiberX material. It's not vinyl, it's not plastic, it's a special composite kind of hybrid material. They're the only ones that make it. It was just about as strong as Champion's vinyl was. I couldn't tell any difference between the two of them. I mean, granted, it was a week apart. Anderson does double pane glass with their specialized coatings and their gas filled. So both of them let about less than 5% heat transfer through, which was pretty impressive compared to, you're talking 65% with most standard windows, most double paned standard windows. That is hopefully going to make a huge impact on my heating, on my gas and electric bills. So I'm really excited to see how much of a change that makes and how much of a change I can feel. Because, like, for instance, walking past this door, even like when it's cooler outside, I can feel a very significant change in temperature just walking past the door. I took a thermostat and put it down by the door, and it was at least 10 degrees colder than it was like sitting up on the table. So even though I got the quote back in October, the installation date is tomorrow, the 30th of December. So I was surprised. They said they were scheduling out into January, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to wait until the middle of winter to get this done. Thankfully, we've had a mostly mild winter so far, and tomorrow is supposed to be pretty decent. 50 degrees, partly cloudy, not raining. Like, that's a good day for having all the windows pulled out and replaced. I'll take it. It could have been worse. It could have been later next week where it's supposed to drip down into the teens. That would have been kind of miserable having to deal with all day. Since they are showing up tomorrow, I have to clear everything upwards of 3 feet away from the doors, which means that all of this stuff needs to be cleaned up, and I need to make room for everything to just get away from the window as much as possible, while still giving myself enough space to actually work from home, because Monday is my work from home day, convenient as that happens to be. And then we will see what kind of difference that makes by the end of the week when those temperatures drop. So stay tuned. So it has now been a couple weeks since they put the windows in, and I've had a little bit of time to get used to exactly how the new windows are feeling. Granted, they look nice, but as you can tell from the sweatshirt, I didn't normally used to wear a sweatshirt all the time in my house, but I felt like I've had to since the new windows have been installed, which is not what you want from new windows. By putting my hand up here, I can feel the cold draft coming off of this trim. So from that video I took when they were installing it, you can tell that there was nothing between where this caulking is at and the outside. I've got one of the guys from the service department coming out today to take a look, and hopefully he can see the same thing that I'm seeing with how cold the trim of these windows are. I don't know if he's going to have to like tear stuff off to look to see what was done behind there, but I guarantee if we were to pull this trim off, that we would see just how little there is keeping that cold out. So this could be a bit of an ordeal. So when the guy from the service department came out on Friday, he didn't bring any tools with him, and all he pretty much did was tell me that yes, there may have been gaps in the edge of the windows because they can't make the window exactly to the size of the opening, which I understand that. It's like, but if the gaps are too small that they can't fill the gaps with the foam, that they just cover the gaps with the foam. And I'm like, that gap needs to be filled, not just covered. That doesn't help the cold from coming in. And pretty much all he was saying was that their objective is to just stop the air from moving. Well, if all that's holding that air back is this tiny piece, this tiny bead of caulk, that's not terribly helpful. So after he left, pretty much just telling me that, and that he was going to have the schedulers call me to work out a time where the installers can come back and spot check their own work. So having the same guys that did this come back to tell me that they didn't mess up sounds like a great plan. That afternoon, I got on Amazon and I ordered a thermal camera just so I could spot check their work. And I was very surprised that the guy from the service department didn't have a thermal camera of any kind. So here are some images that I captured with that thermal camera, and you can see very clearly a cold line coming from where this caulking is at on the top of about half of my windows. The other thing on some of my windows that it showed me was just how cold it is on this bottom part of trim. Like, this part of the trim isn't that cold. This part of the trim is. And the only reason why that would be so cold is if there's no foam between this and the outside. So since this is one of the easier windows to get to, also happens to be one of the windows that I'm having problems with according to the thermal camera, and just feeling this, I'll have them spot check this one, and I hate to have them spot check my upstairs bedroom, but that's the other one that's really bad. So after the first inspector came out and didn't do anything and told me those guys never skip any corners, he never reported that I still needed the installers to come back out again. So then I had to call back in, got another inspector guy to come out, and the first time he came out, he didn't have much time, but what he did do was he looked at the trim and saw that there was a piece of caulking missing from just this little corner here, like right there. And he was telling me that that was the reason why the inside of my patio door was so stinking cold. I was like, okay, I don't think so, but we'll let it go and we'll see just how cold this gets the next time a cold snap came through. So next time a cold snap came through, it was still just as cold on the inside of the trim. So I called back, he came back out again, and he actually took the time to take the inside trim off of the patio door and the dining room window. And this is the video from that. It was quite revealing. And there we go. This is why the top of the window was cold, because there is absolutely nothing between the window, the frame, and outside other than that external piece of trim. Way to go, most expensive windows ever. Needless to say, when he saw the complete lack of insulation on the top of this window, he said, I need to call my manager. So he made a couple phone calls, then we got the installer scheduled to come back out again. Granted, the inspector had already foamed the inside of the patio door and the inside of this window, but he went ahead and had the installers come out anyways. And after they pulled that trim off, there was hardly any foam down here. All across the bottom, here's how much foam was there, and that's not very much. And like you could tell, on that side, there was not very much foam out here. But then when one of the installers finished doing this back window, he definitely made sure that there was more than enough foam back here, so I have a window my next winter that I can use to compare the rest of the windows to, because there is enough foam on this window. Now the rest of the windows that they did, hit or miss. I'm most likely going to be calling them back next winter after, especially upstairs, because he said the only reason why it was cold up there was because there was some caulking missing on some of the trim. I said, nah bro, that's not enough. I even showed him the thermal pictures and he still was like, oh yeah, that caulking will do it. So I'll be calling them back next winter, which is kind of a shame, being the most expensive, most reputable company in the area, that they're just brushing these concerns off that quickly. But yeah, I'm going to be filing a Better Business Bureau complaint. I will be reaching back out to them to see if I can get a refund of sorts, because this is not worth the expense that I paid and the hassle I've been going through for the quality I was supposed to be getting. So in case you were thinking about Anderson, hopefully this video has given you a few insights on what my experience has been, because I was actually trying to make sure that they weren't screwing me over. And if you've had Anderson done in the past, you might want to think about double checking their work, especially if you're still within the warranty period, and see if they can come out and fix it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and that it was as educational for you as it was for me. Thanks for watching.